Hey there, Boots Owen here. This is a Mobike in bits. I'll try and tell you a bit about it first and then I'll show you what I'm working on with it. Where I live and in other cities around the world, I think, these were brought in as a kind of a unlocked self-hire bicycle that was in theory vandal proof, but a lot of them wound up in back gardens and in the canal, and so they were withdrawn. I guess they're the same as Lime scooters or any of those things that you see in typically touristy cities. They've all been decommissioned and you can buy them on eBay for small money. This one had the old tyre on the back, had a flat spot, so clearly someone had dragged it with the lock on for quite some distance, and then somebody else presumably had sold it on eBay for what was small money, like I think 20 quid. I thought I'll have a go at it and just see what it's about, because it interested me that it has this shaft on the back, no chain, and I like that. I think that's cool. So we'll have a look inside there. It should have a basket on the front with a solar panel on it to charge lights. That was missing. The lights were missing. There's a bit of a cable hanging out there. There should be a back mudguard on it coming from somewhere. That's missing. And a front, maybe a front mudguard, I don't know. All that stuff's missing, so it was cheap. And the reason then that I wanted to put the tyres on it was because that tyre was bald. An opportunity arose where, you have to bear with me on this one, they sent me the wrong size tyres online when I bought some tyres for a different bicycle. I bought 20s, they were advertised as 20s, they sent me 24s, and it was a guy who was a private seller. And I said, like, do you want me to send them back? And he said, no, just keep them eBay style, which kind of bugs me because I didn't need them. But then I had this, and, you know, it had this flat tyre, and you're riding it, you're going along, bump, 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 bump. Because the airless tyres, or the puncture-proof tyres, I'll show you them, I'm going to cut that off. They're horrible. They have no give in them at all. They're you might as well be riding on the aluminium rims. The bike is full of these security fasteners, so I've got to buy, well, I've done it now, I've bought a set of pentagon security fasteners. So they look like an Allen key, but they've got 5 sides and a dimple. Also Torx fasteners, and it uses a combination on everything. So if you're trying to take a wheel off it, you've got to use 2 fasteners. Clever, but also a pain. I've also had to make the wheel fit, so because it's got a fat tyre, now it's too close to, you know, there's no clearance, so I've packed it out with washers. That's a lot of preamble in 3 minutes. Bike does work, it's slow. I'll show you what the front wheel's about, I'll deal with that one, and then we'll get into this box before I put the back wheel back on. That's kind of all I'm going to do to it. It's more to document what's inside here. It's kind of interesting. So if you're thinking about getting one of these, I absolutely wouldn't bother. This is, let's see, this is a set of these guys. That's too loose. I'll tell you what it's called once we get in here. That'll do it, I suppose. Let's try that one. That's a better fit, okay. This has for its number S2H6.95 as the fastener, and it's a pentagon with a dimple in the center. Like that. I've loosened them off already by the looks of things. And that's them, short screws. Throw them away because, well, I guess you could keep it on it, but I think I need longer ones. So that's that job done. That whole set was bought just for that. And this is T40 on this side. I might need a bigger one. No, 40 will do it. So again, a T40 security fastener. They're more common. You will see them around. Go. No, it's not. So it has a drum brake on the front with this fin, and it has a disc brake on the back. What's it stuck on? I probably haven't had this off before. Oh, sorry camera. That's what it looks like. It's just aluminium, just a cast alley wheel. So let's get it up on the bench. So this is a, what is it called, 32507, 24 by 1.25. It's a standard tyre, but it must be put on with some kind of a machine or some heavy duty levers. So, 5 minutes. The tire just sits outside, but it looks like it's, you know, they're made together somehow. And it's good, works well. I'm not sure how to do it. I don't really care. It's horrible. Try chopping that up. Got it all over my legs and all over my grinder. Petrol on a rag. The old favourite. Oh god, it's awful. I've got a fan on to try and cure the stink. Measured the valve stem there, it's about 8 mil, so just got to pick a place to put it. On the other wheel I put it at the webs, so let's put it here. That's it. So I don't know how easy or hard this is going to be for me. I have to tube in, but it doesn't mean much. I can't remember if these tires go on easy or if they're quite tight. No, it's going to go on quite easy. Right, so get that valve in. Now, these are Blackjacks. They're quite comfortable tires, but they've got a bit of resistance to them because they're so big. But they fit on this rim, and that's really all I'm here for. So that's it on. It's easier than I had. Of course, it won't read the reading. I'm trying to read it and it goes back to 0 because it is a Woods valve. So it's quite easy actually. Didn't take me very long to do that. Wheel exchange. Well, to put the tube, getting the old tube off, the old tire and punctureless fellow was a bit of a nightmare. So I've been in here before, I've taken out all but 2 of the fasteners. Maybe 3. Maybe there's one you have to get from the other side, I can't remember. Is there? Yep. So they really try to make it like complicated but not impossible. If you know what you're doing. Oh bugger, lost something. Oh right, okay, so that one, this is where it gets tricky. Especially if you're trying to hold it. The whole hub is held on from the other side. It has a hex shaft, but to get this front off, you've got to get in to get those 2 guys off. So there really isn't any way to get in there. So let's get that back on. Now, if you see this, there's a little bearing here. And then there's a big bearing. I think this whole thing is a bearing. I'm not going to go into it. I don't really want to take it asunder to put nuts and bolts, but I think that whole thing is one big bearing. It's that screw falling out. Right, so let's get a look at this then. We're still in frame. Screwdriver maybe. It's been left out in the rain for a while as well. There we go. Not sure which bit comes with it here. Oh, I think we're taking the bottom bracket with it. Try and hook that in like that. We've lost the back end too. Oh right, the whole thing is here. So that's it really. Right. So this is it. There's your bottom bracket. It has real bearings, which had a bit of water in them. There's been a bit of water in there, but everything's still running quite smooth. Double bearing here. So I don't think that one doesn't want to come out. That side of the pedal doesn't want to come out. But it's a solid bar. Kind of a beveled helical gear, I think. It's conical gears anyways. Double bearing. Looks like a 12 mil shaft, or well, yeah, it's bigger than 10 mil. Another bearing. It must have another bearing in the back there as well, because that guy's spinning nicely like that. Bit of white grease on it. Put a bit of that back in to spread itself around. It's quite dusty, but inside it's quite clean, so you know, yeah, that's all there is to it though. Shaft driven directly and then out the back, so they must have figured out the gears. You know, they must have. Drop that back down, Flip this guy over again. Not sure why I don't want to go back in here. Alright. That rear hub unit is separate. There we go. Persuading machine would be the man for me, but I don't. Let's get 2 screws back into it. I don't mind reusing these ones because now I've got all the fittings for it. Previously, I didn't. I've lost a screw, I think, somewhere. I think one went on the floor. There's long ones and short ones. I'm not sure what the difference is. I have a feeling the long ones maybe held on the bracket for the kickstand. No, they're separate. Don't know. So the 3 longer ones are to hold on this fellow, which I think is a mudguard support bracket on the back. So I need to put that back on. So get this hub back in here. Oh. Bizarrely has 2 wires in it as well, so I suspect there could be a dynamo built in there into that hub as well. I'm not sure about that, but it has 2 cables going to it, so it could be a dynamo. Now these will have a right and a left. Of course, there's a pentagon fastener on that pedal as well. So I don't know which, that says OR there, so that's the right hand side. I took the pedals off because you need to get at least one of them off to get in. So they put pentagons on the pedals as well. And they're a bigger size, so I was just lucky that the one I got did it. I can put that stand back on now before I flip it over. I think it goes that way. So I really don't want you stealing any bits from it. But then, if you know what to use, you can just get the bits you need to steal. So you can see under here, there's a little cover plate. And that's where the back brake cable goes through. So it's mostly hidden, but it's just a regular cable. And there's disc pads in there, and it's a disc. I presume it's a standard disc. I have no idea. I think sometimes they've tried to use off-standard parts, but then other times not. Right, so this fellow here. So to get the wheel to fit without rubbing here, I've made some washers for it to pack it out, and I had to cut the side off the washers. So I think I had it with 2, but it seems to go with 1, so we'll try it with 1. So I made these D-shaped washers. And so it just, oh, the wheel, weird, the wheel's buckled. So it's still rubbing. That's no good. I wonder could I kick it back into shape. It's definitely buckled. Right, so okay, that's it rolling. I'm done with that. Had enough of you. Get up like this. Try and do the front one here. So it's a bit crusty. Let's see if it'll work first without washers, because it would be a lot easier. So I've been at this for too long. It's a bit of a rub on the drum by the sounds of it, but the clearance is here, so that's okay. Let's get the rest of the screws in. So what can I say about it? It's horrible and it's heavy and it rides like a sack of spuds, but it does work now, and that's about all I can say for it. I need to tighten up the saddle. It's a bit loosey, but apart from that, yeah, that's where the I think the bracket for the lock is to clamp around somehow, I don't know. And the mudguard thing was on the back. It's where the basket went on here, and there's 2 screws there for a front mudguard also missing. So it's a bit of a off-road silliness model, but at least it works now, which is the affliction I have in life, where everything needs to be repaired, even if I don't need it. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Like, subscribe, become a member, and leave a comment. Thanks for watching. That rubber on my hands is awful. See you later.